So you're a seed stage founder, right? You are probably obsessed with growth. But what if the numbers you're tracking are actually telling you the wrong story? Today, we're going to crack open the financial playbook from Greg Crabtree's Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits to give you the clarity you need to build a company that's not just growing, but is truly profitable. All right, let's dive right in with a question that I swear keeps founders staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m. Your revenue is climbing, the charts are going up and to the right, everything looks great. But then you check the bank account and you're just like, where on earth did all the cash go? You've probably heard this old saying, and man, does it capture a fundamental trap. As the book points out, it's so easy to use those big, flashy sales numbers as a sign of success. But this vanity metric, as he calls it, can be a really dangerous illusion that hides the true financial health of your business. So how do we see past that illusion? We've got to clear away the financial fog. And believe it or not, it all starts with the one number that most founders completely get wrong: their own salary. Crabtree just nails the core idea with this quote. You have to understand, you wear two different hats. You're an employee doing a job, and you're an owner who has capital at risk. If you mix up the pay for those two completely separate roles, your financial data becomes, and I'm quoting here, worthless. I mean, just look at the difference this makes. On the left, in the illusion, you're paying yourself a tiny salary, maybe 50 grand, and it makes the business look super profitable, $150,000. But if the real market rate for the CEO job you're doing is actually $150,000, well, the reality on the right shows your true profit is only $50,000. That number, that is your real starting point. Okay, so now you can actually see your true profit. What's the target? What should you be aiming for? This brings us to key number 2, the 10% profit rule, and why you need to think of it as your new break-even point. You hear this buzzword all the time, right? EBITDA. Well, Crabtree argues it's a huge distraction for entrepreneurs. Why? Because it ignores real costs, like interest payments on loans, or the fact that your equipment is getting older and less valuable. These are things that actually take real cash out of your business. Pre-tax profit, on the other hand, gives you a much, much more honest picture. So what's the magic number for that pre-tax profit? It's 10%. And he is very clear, this is not some nice-to-have goal. He literally calls 10% the new break-even, the absolute bare minimum for a healthy, sustainable business that's actually built to last. Here's a simple but really powerful scorecard for your business. If your true pre-tax profit is 5% or less, you're basically on life support. You hit that 10% mark, hey, you've got a good, solid business. And if you can get to 15% or more, now you're in the great category. It's a brutally honest way to see how you're really doing. Now, getting these first two keys right is absolutely crucial for what's coming next, because as you start to grow, you are very likely heading straight for something he ominously calls the black hole. So what is this black hole? Well, it's that super treacherous phase, usually between 1 and 5 million in revenue, where you have to hire more people and build out your systems. But the revenue just hasn't caught up to all those new costs yet. Your profit gets squeezed, cash becomes incredibly tight, and this is exactly where so many promising companies just die. So how in the world do you survive it? Well, this brings us right back to key number 1. That market-based salary you're paying yourself, that is your survival gear. You have to live off of that salary so that every single dollar of true profit can be reinvested to fuel the business through this dangerous patch. If you start pulling profits out to pay your mortgage, you are starving the business right when it needs that fuel the most. Okay, you're paying yourself correctly, you're generating a true profit, you're reinvesting it to get through the black hole. But how exactly should you use that cash? What's the order of operations? This brings us to our final key, the 4 forces of cash flow. Crabtree calls this the physics of business because you can try to defy it for a little while, but in the end, it always wins. There is a strict, non-negotiable order for where your cash goes. First, you pay taxes, period. Don't even think about it. Second, use your after-tax profits to pay down debt. Third, you build up a cash cushion, a safety net of at least 2 months of operating expenses. And only after those first 3 are totally satisfied do you even get to think about number 4, taking profit distributions for yourself. And why is all this discipline so important? Because you're not just trying to build a job that lets you survive from week to week. You're trying to build a real, valuable asset. A business that is consistently profitable and throws off predictable cash flow has true economic value to you and to anyone who might want to buy it someday. So let's just boil it all down. Your entire financial playbook can be summed up by these 4 incredibly powerful rules. Pay yourself a real market wage so you can see the truth, aim for at least 10% pre-tax profit, reinvest that profit to survive the black hole, and always, always prioritize your cash according to the 4 forces. This is really the heart of simple numbers, straight talk, big profits. It's not about being a spreadsheet wizard. It's about a straightforward, disciplined roadmap that can guide you from having a great idea to building a genuinely sustainable and valuable company. At the end of the day, applying these principles really forces you to answer one final and very critical question. Without this kind of financial discipline, are you truly building a business, an asset that can grow and thrive without you? Or have you just accidentally created a really complicated, high-stress job for yourself?